Okay, so this is just a short video on how to import data. So one way we can open data is we go to Open in this top left corner. Then we select our data from wherever it is located, which in my case, I have it in a special folder. And you have to navigate to wherever your data is. Now, Stata saves in a .dta file. So that is our data specifically for Stata, or in a Stata format. So we select that, we open, and now we see that my data has been loaded. And if I go in and look at my data browser, I can see all my data there, including its formats, including all its particular measurements, etc. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just to go File, Open, and then we can select it the same way. Now, Stata will actually open several types of files or several types of data files. For example, we can open an Excel file by going to File, Import, Excel spreadsheet. And these are the different formats that Stata will import naturally. Now you'll notice SPSS is not on here. SPSS is another statistical software that's very common. So if you ever want to load an SPSS data file into Stata for analysis, because perhaps you find Stata easier, then you'll have to go to SPSS and save it in a Stata format. But I'm going to go ahead and select Excel spreadsheet, and it's going to ask you where you want it from. So that's where you have to navigate. I'm going to click Browse. Now, in my particular folder, it's tooth growth. That's the data set I'm using. Notice it's in the Excel format. Click Open. Now, up here, Stata does not automatically recognize the first row as a header row or as variable names. So that's where we go and we select Import first row as variable names. And we kind of get a little preview of what our data will look like down here. And so when we're importing data, we want to kind of give it a real quick inspection to make sure that it looks the way it should look. Then when I click OK, it'll say, do I want to continue and replace data? What that means is the data I've already put in there, do I want to overwrite it? And in this case, yes. And we can see now in my variable column that I have my new data set, which if I went to my data browser, now it looks a little different. But that's because we have different data. And once again, in the results window, we can see the results of what I did. And in the review pane, we can see a history of what I've done. That's how you import and input data, a pre-existing data set, into Stata.